E3 just finished. By that, I mean a week ago. Overall, it was probably my least favorite one. I hardly had much to look forward to. Persona 5 got a new release date for 2017, Zelda's coming absolutely never. What do I have to look forward to at all? Let's see. So first off, we finally got a new look at the new Zelda game. I wasn't expecting very much, but I must say that I'm pleasantly surprised by how much they're trying to do differently. You can climb stuff without vines. You can also replenish your health without potions. Another cool thing I liked about the game is that you can jump? They seem to be taking an interesting approach to things we know Zelda for. It almost seems like they're aiming for a similar open world style like the first game, which is interesting. Not to mention that they apparently said that what was presented accounts for 1% of the game's world. That's ridiculous. It makes me wonder how large it'll be in comparison to Xenoblade Chronicles X, and that game was huge, in both scope and file size. Anyway, we also see the Koroks, which is awesome, since they come from Wind Waker. It makes me wonder how much this game is connected to it. I wonder if we will see the sages. Concerning the game's music, I'm not very sure if I'll like the environmental noises instead of music. It can work well for the atmosphere, but when it comes to me, I'm pretty serious about my video game music. Chances are that if you ask me to talk about a game, the first thing that will come to mind is the music that played when I had my experiences. I'd hate to be less connected to the game because of this alone. In terms of its story, it certainly needs to be interesting. Don't get me wrong, the ambiguity here is nice, but one reason I love Zelda games for is the story, as simple as they can be. Instead, all we really got is just hours of footage of people exploring the same areas over and over. Don't get me wrong, my connection was wonky during E3, so I missed out on a ton of Chico's Murder's Rampage, but it still doesn't seem like I was missing much. Watching the trailer and one person play for about an hour or so felt like enough. So, this game's releasing in 2017. Awesome. As for Pokemon Sun and Moon, don't really care for Pokemon. I played Black 2. That game was alright. It wasn't really enough to get me into the series though, so it looks like this game isn't on the 2016 list. As for Paper Mario Color Splash, I don't really want this game. Shocking, I know. There's a slim chance of me getting it used, but that's about it. Seeing how it stands, I would like to produce new content on a new game, but hardly have much to provide, so who knows, it might happen. Next up to talk about is Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem.
Big brother? Excuse me! Please stop!
I'm alright with it taking a different direction. It has the battle system of Shin Megami Tensei games, they made new characters, and the plot is centered around the music industry. I like those things. However, it involves Japanese pop idol music and anime tropes. Just no. I have nothing against pop idol stuff, it's just generally not for me. I've heard it enough in anime already. Speaking of anime, tropes? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I don't like them. Granted, tropes can be totally fine when done right, I won't disagree with that. However, just seeing them in general can alienate me from something really fast. It's why I'm so picky about the anime I watch. I don't even watch as many as I used to because of that. Top all of that off with the fact that there's no English dub, and it's hard for me to want this game as a fan of RPGs. A justification for not dubbing it doesn't really matter to me. I strongly prefer for things to be in English. It's a shame too, because the basic concept itself is interesting. You have the battle mechanics, the nice visuals, and the theme is centered on music, but then there's all that stuff. A 2016 game, not on my 2016 list. After having little to look forward to from Nintendo, I was wondering how much I had to look forward to at all. Then I forgot about Shantae. After loving the Game Boy Color game, which is a big favorite of mine, and playing the rest of them, there was no question about getting this one. Shantae is nothing but platforming goodness. I need it. I remember seeing a trailer 2 months or so ago thinking the game looked decent. Now it's looking really awesome and I love how it's turning out. Another thing I'm looking forward to is the music. I doubt Jake Kaufman's suddenly going to disappoint us, so this should be pretty good. Maybe he might have answered my prayers and given us a remix of the best track from The Pirate's Curse, but whatever. What's even more awesome is that they're releasing physical copies thanks to Xseed. I normally prefer boxed copies anyway, but to see them get physical copies for Shantae is even better. I'll definitely be supporting them with that. Apparently there's also a music CD for pre-orders, so you can bet what I'm going to do. Definitely a must-have on my 2016 list. That's one game. Since I've got nothing to get this year from Nintendo, I looked at some indies. I took a look at this game, stopped, and decided to turn back around. From what I'm hearing, Mighty No. 9 does not seem worth the purchase, and I am nowhere close to being a Mega Man fan, so I'm not willing to take the chance. The game has been a joke around the internet for a while now, anyway. As for Persona 5, I'm more interested in the mainline Shin Megami Tensei games, but since Persona is extremely similar, I don't think I'd mind getting this. The only problem is that it's coming out in 2017. That's another game to keep me from moving on in my life. Either way, I hope the story doesn't end up terrible, although it's not like I'm expecting that. Now what really grinds my gears, and is an absolute terrible monstrosity, is that Namco failed me once again and gave us no new Soul Calibur. It's probably my favorite fighting game next to Smash. I need another one, preferably with Talim and a bunch of other cool characters not cut. I swear if they do something like make her long lost cousin replace her. Look, I just want a new game. Now don't run with that idea and start making another free to play, Namco. I just want a new Soul Calibur fighting game, okay? Okay. As for the PlayStation 4 itself, I thought about getting it. I have a PS3, which I still plan on playing, but I have a bunch of other consoles in my room. It's ridiculous. I'm at that point where I almost don't want to buy another one until I move out or something. I have about one space left for a new console. With that being said, it's one of the reasons why I've thrown away the idea of getting a PS4. If only it had PS3 backwards compatibility, all my issues would be solved on the spot, but it isn't. It would definitely be a really good thing for me though. It's not like my PS3 is a Nintendo 64 or something, which I'd want to keep forever. Oh well, at this rate, I probably might skip it despite the fact that I want to buy Kingdom Hearts 3 or the Final Fantasy VII remake, but I guess it wouldn't be worth it. 2 or 3 games as opposed to the countless amount that I'd like to get on my PS3, I guess I'll pass. All I have to do is hope that the new Sonic game is announced for a console I have, assuming they'll ever announce it at all. So, just what am I buying this year? Shantae, Apocalypse if I can just get a release date, maybe Xenoblade Chronicles, but my interest kinda died down after waiting forever for a digital release. At this point, I'd arguably be better off buying a new PS3 controller. Mine sucks. Let's see, 2 games to get this year. Fantastic. At least I'll save a lot of money. My biggest problem with that, however, is that it'd be best I keep this channel's content fresh with newer games. I can continue to do videos on older games or just Smash, but I doubt people will care as much. However, I'd be saving money, which is great. Oh boy, what do I do? Well, at least this will be a good time to trade in Mario Party 10 with Game & Wario, cause I'm clearly never going to play them again. Gave you so many chances. Other than that, video's over. Thanks for watching. Namco, give me Soul Calibur. Atlas, release date. Nintendo, something that's interesting. Shameless self-promotion. I do music and have a Twitter account. Goodbye.